Hello, everyone. I love that you all can get on here before me. It's so good. I'm like, I wonder who's on there, and I am 1 minute late. This is so good. Happy Monday. Are you all snowed in?
Yes, big snow.
Yeah, how much?
It's hard to tell because there was high wind, so it was very drifty, but at least a foot, maybe
Wow.
18 inches.
Oh
It's
my God.
Yeah, it was a big storm.
Wow. Yeah, I was seeing some posts closer to like the Cape and like coastal Massachusetts. And I was like, oh my gosh. I have a client down in the Cape and we were supposed to have a call today and she canceled because it was just insane and
Yeah.
crazy, that much like virtually she had to cancel just because like signal was off, cell service was bad. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people on the eastern part of the state that lost power. We're off grid, so we don't lose power, but I don't know about this area. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people lost power because it was really windy.
Yeah, wild.
Yep.
Someone had asked me, they're like, are you going to have the storm at all? And all that we experienced in Wilmington, North Carolina was like a little bit of rain, definitely some wind, but our time will come.
Yeah. Are you
Oh,
loving it down there?
I am. I'm
Nice.
very glad I made the move. Sometimes it's crazy when they say sometimes just like your setting and where you are in your environment makes a huge difference. And I didn't believe it. I was
Of
like, happiness
course.
is where you are and who you're around, blah, blah, blah. But like, man, as soon as I drove across the border and saw that North Carolina sign, I was like, okay, I feel the
Felt
energy.
right,
I'm
huh?
I'm
Yeah.
home. It was so bizarre. It was
Good. Nice. That's
really
beautiful.
validating. I know,
Mm.
right? Gosh.
Yep.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Shyla.
Do you
I'm
want to
so
say
glad
hi
you're
to
here.
Kayla? Hazel wants to say hi to you. She's
Yay!
kind of nakey, so fair warning.
We accept Nikki. Hi, Hazel.
You're having some Greek yogurt, you healthy little girl. No, I having smoothie. Smoothie.
Ooh, a smoothie. Good choice.
Yogurt smoothie.
Yogurt smoothie. Is it mixed berries?
Yeah.
Yum.
Blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries.
You are teaching us how to be healthy. Thank you so much.
Blueberries. You got one sock on. What are you doing? I saw my eye one. It's so itchy.
Itchy?
It's itchy. I'll find it. Doing well here. It's cold, and I don't
Yeah.
know where Barb is, but we didn't get as much snow, I don't think, as that. But we got probably close to like 8 to 12, somewhere in there, but really windy as well.
Mm. Yeah, it's that dang wind. I was just thinking I was jealous because I'm missing ski season this year and the snow's been incredible, but I know that it's been particularly cold up there and I don't do well skiing in the cold. Like my feet, oh, freeze every time, even with electric socks. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why?
Justin went cross country skiing today, and he said it was the best kind of snow for that because it was
Oh,
really soft and powdery. But
smart. He took advantage of that. I think cross country skiing, I would stay warmer because you work harder. Whereas like downhill skiing, you're just sitting on the lift for half the time, and it's like that's when you get real cold. And honestly, the trails in the east, in my experience, are really short. You sit on that lift for 10 minutes and then it takes 1 minute to get to the bottom.
exactly
Oh, I know. And then it's like cost an arm and a leg now.
that it does.
I did not mean to jump on here and complain, but that's not my MO usually. Try not to.
I think the
All right.
worst of the cold might be behind us now.
I think so too. Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
just that stretch, but it was a longer stretch than normal.
yeah,
Fingers crossed.
right. Fingers crossed. I think the last couple winters have been, the cold comes later now, but
Yeah,
when it comes fiercely and it does not leave when I think it's supposed to.
I agree. Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Like leave right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a week ago.
Yeah,
That darn groundhog.
I know.
Yeah.
I think he sees his shadow every year, so
Yeah,
maybe he
he's a
needs to move down south or somewhere else. I don't know.
he's a rodent.
Yeah. My aunt was like, she's silly. She's like, I was looking up recipes for groundhog stew or something. If he says the wrong thing. Like, ew. Okay, well, let's get rolling. Today's a little more simple and a little bit more centered around all of you. I want to take an opportunity. We're about halfway through, which is crazy. I can't believe that. And so many of you have been sticking to it. They say most people who start a resolution January 1st or have a goal usually fall off of it by mid-January. And here you all are staying strong and showing up and doing your best. And I think some of that is not only because you're motivated and you want to be better and you've committed to yourself, but also when we go about wellness in this way without like strict structure and like you have to do this, like I feel like it's easier to stay a part of. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but with that being said, I want to kind of open up the floor to you all and just start talking a little bit about, how you're doing, where you're at, what's sticking with you, what you've been enjoying, what habits you've really like honed in on and are actually sticking. So, yeah, anyone can start and we'll just pass the mic around.
I've been a lot more mindful of my body and how I feel and nourishing it. Where I, for so long, I was like on a regiment, like I have to do this, do this, and this. And I felt so much better by doing this. This,
Mm, that's incredible. Yeah, intuitive, just like being in tune with our body is, I think that's what you're saying, and just listening for once and not forcing it, kind of letting it flow in the rhythm it wants to be in, but
yep,
also honoring, what it wants in a healthier way. And
yes.
that's the big goal. Like we're all so different. We all move to different rhythms, we have different lives and all that. So I think that's a really important point you just made. Thank you for sharing that. That was really good.
For me, I have been really good about the strength training and being um, on a regular schedule with that, and really putting more emphasis on that and less on, I mean, I'm still being mindful about my eating, but I'm seeing this as more of a really long-term life change rather than a short-term diet or program. Um, and so therefore I'm giving myself more grace to proceed slowly. And I think that that's been really helpful for me. And I've been doing really well with sticking with the strength training and then just eating carefully, but not trying to restrict or make big changes. And I haven't even gotten on a scale. I have no idea what I weigh because I'm not even thinking that way.
Wow, that is a beautiful mindset shift. That is incredible. You're breaking away from what society is telling you you need to be like and need to do, and you're looking at it from a lens that feels really important to you, lifelong commitment to feeling healthy, being strong, and, living something that doesn't feel restrictive, but also feels really nourishing. And also,
Right.
I loved that you said grace for patience, essentially. This journey is long. It's a marathon. The finish line is death, essentially, right? And that hopefully for everyone is really far away. So working towards that slowly is the key here. I love that. So then you can, when you're slow and you're mindful and intentional about what you're doing, hopefully you can enjoy it a little bit more. And like what one of our guest speakers, Kara, said, start celebrating yourself for smaller wins and just be like, huh, I ate enough protein today. Heck yeah. Or, you know what? I noticed that I had more energy today because I slept well. Yes, I'm going to celebrate that. And so we find more reasons to celebrate when we're slower.
Hmm.
Yay! That was a good one. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I'd be glad to say something if nobody else was trying to go.
We're ready for you.
Um, I just want to piggyback off what Tina said with, you know, I think I get really stuck and really hard on myself when I try to make too many changes at once and get too regimented with things that don't feel attainable or that I can't hold myself accountable for. Especially being a mom and starting a new job just a few months ago. And I got married a few months ago. It was just a lot. And then the holidays, there's always something happening, but I just happen to have in the last 6 months a lot going on. But the main reason I decided to join this group was to kind of what you were just saying and what Barb was saying is kind of hone in on the smaller things that I can do and giving myself grace and trying to celebrate the small wins and not focus so much on what I'm not doing and focus on what I am doing. So, I get caught up, and I think you know this, Kayla, that I am not what's the word? I am not dedicated, or I'm not doing well with being consistent with the app and like tracking everything. And I have struggled with being consistent with activity and stuff. But I'm trying not to beat myself up over that because I'm adjusting from working 12-hour overnights to working an 8 to 5 job, and it is a big change for me. And my children are both in very weird places in life, and it's been challenging. So, I have a lot going on, and I'm doing the best I can to be kind to myself and to celebrate the small things, like taking, a 2-mile walk on my lunch break 5 days in a row. I did that last week or the week before, and I just was like really proud of myself that I even did that. And I took the plunge recently to reach out to someone I've known for a long time and get into a training program with him. And I'm starting slow with just 2 days a week, but I'm trying to, hold myself accountable by utilizing someone local here in going to the gym with me. So that was a big decision. And just like everyday little things, like a little bit more water if I didn't drink as much the day before, try to drink a little more the next day, or add a little bit more protein in, or not eat that cookie even though I don't, even though I want it but I don't need it. Just little decisions like that. And getting better sleep, and journaling instead of watching a TV show, just little things like that, just trying to be kind to myself because like Barb said, it's more of a lifelong decision versus like a sprint to change my life dramatically in 2 months or 3 months. It's like I feel a little bit behind in the sense of this program, but I know for my overall journey, I am making changes. So I'm just trying to be proud of myself there. And I just, last thing is that I just want to say, it's just funny how this group, I know more people in this group than people realize. Like Tina is actually my best friend's sister, and I figured that out because Tina, you look so much like Julie, and I thought you were Julie the other night. And Julie is
That's
my best
awesome.
friend, so it's just
Oh my
funny
God,
that
that's too funny.
I don't know you. I don't know you, Tina, but you sound and look just like Julie. And I was like, oh my God, that's just funny. And then Julie is my husband's cousin,
Hmm.
basically. And it's like a bunch of like-minded
Wait, wait,
people.
wait. Your husband is Julie's cousin, so that'd be my cousin.
No, not your Julie. A
Oh.
different Julie in this group. Julie
Oh yeah,
Julie
Julie
Houghton.
Houghton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Yep.
I know. Julie Houghton in this group, her husband is cousins with my husband, so it's just funny. And then Linda, I've known for a while, and you, okay, it's just cool to that you've brought so many different people from so many different walks of life together in one group. I just think it makes it easier to be kind to myself when I see so many different people in so many different places, but we all have the same like mindset or goal for ourselves is just to like grow and find ways to do better for ourselves, and I just think that's really powerful. So good for you, Kayla, bringing all these people together.
I love her.
That was so cool.
That
I
was
love that
good.
yeah, Shyla, thank you for bringing that together with the connections because I knew all that too. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know all these people are connected and it's really fun and cute and
I
sweet. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, but she's right, Tina, like you and Julie, because I went to Shyla's wedding and got to hang out with Julie for I mean, I knew her from Facebook, but she came up to me, she's like, you're Kayla. And I'm like, yes, I am. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I know you from Facebook too, but it's so weird. It's like neat when you meet them in person. And
All
I was like,
right.
wow, you are Tina's sister. And it's such a compliment because you two are
Oh,
lovely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know Trevor.
I know, I love Trevor. I love your whole family.
Yeah, Tina, Julie was one of my bridesmaids in my wedding in October, actually. That's how close we are. So it's just funny.
Oh, I knew she was in a wedding. I didn't know whose though.
There you are, the star of the show,
Well,
the bride herself.
congratulations. Yeah,
Aw.
congratulations.
Thank you.
It was such a fun wedding, just to like side note, because I'm a
Oh,
huge like soca fan and they had so much soca music. I was like, this is incredible.
oh,
Oh man, especially in like Guilford, Vermont, to find like some island like vibes. I'm like, this is incredible.
uh-huh.
Oh, I had so much fun. Um, yeah, okay. Shyla, you kept using the word little, like these are little things, little progress, little. I would argue the complete opposite. Like
Hmm.
your list of achievements and like positives was like that big. And I just want to just highlight that part that I know you're celebrating, but it's bigger than what I think you actually feel. And I understand that completely. We're always like, what's the word I want to use? Humbling ourselves, right? Like, yeah, I'm just this small little person doing my own little thing, but it's like, no, 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 no. You're doing way more than 99% of the people. Like, you're investing in your health. You're working hard to be healthy. You care enough to do that. You're creating generational health. Like, those are huge, huge. And beyond even just like physical health, there's this mental and emotional part too that's going to be passed along to your daughters. And that's enormous if you want to just make that one top not little one topic. Um, so yeah, I want to celebrate you bigger than you're celebrating because those are some huge things and I'm super proud of you for all that you're doing. Like that if you had to juggle right now, I can't even imagine how many balls would be up in the air. So beautiful job and thank you for sharing all of that and
That
like I said,
that's
connecting
how
with these
every
people.
that's how every day feels. Like I'm like an octopus juggling like 75 things, but I know that that is a shared experience for a lot of us. So it makes I'm just saying about the whole group and all of us, it just makes it that much better for me, to keep showing up every week, even if I feel like I'm not completing all that you're putting out there for us as, recommendations. I'm doing my best and I'm juggling what I can and, chipping away and doing a little more here and there. And, I think we all are. So I think it's nice to be a part of a group that we kind of all are in the same position but different. So
Exactly. Yes, I think that's really important to highlight too. At one point, I'm sure these other women who don't have young children had young children at one point and had to go through what you're going through. So leaning on each other and connecting based on experience is really helpful too. And it's an element of vulnerability also. Once you're able to tap into vulnerability without any kind of shame or judgment towards yourself or fear of another person's reaction, that's when deeper connection can form with people. I've been practicing that a lot, and I've created a lot of deeper connections with people because once you're vulnerable, people are just like, oh my gosh, I can relate to that. And then, more connections form. So by you all being here and just talking right now, you're expressing some vulnerabilities too. So yeah, reach out to each other if you need that too. Be like, Shyla, what you said in the message or in the group tonight really resonated, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, don't be afraid. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay, beautiful. Anne, you want to chime in?
Sure. So first, I'm sorry about yesterday.
Oh,
I
girl, no
do remember
worries.
that we changed days, and then I don't know why I forgot. I wasn't remembering it, but so I'm going to take a minute today to be fully accountable because I absolutely have to do that here. I did really well for quite a while when we started the program. I was focused on my eating. I lost some weight. My blood sugar was doing great. I was working out. The programs I had were really working for me. I understood them and I could do them. And was really feeling good about it. And then a few weeks ago, I had that kind of bad week where things at work were nuts, and I had the work being done on my house. And well, looking back now after, this past week and maybe a little bit of the week before, that bad week wasn't so bad because these have really been crash and burn. So I've been
Mm,
horrible. My food has been crazy. I haven't been prepared or preparing. I've not worked out like I should at all. So I took today off to get the things done I need to get done, to get some groceries, to start to, get things organized again. And I'm hoping that will help me to refocus. But I think what really threw me was I started to have, I mean, I got out of sync with what I was doing, but then I kind of started to go back to think about what we talked about. And I was kind of like trying to tunnel focus onto certain things. Start with a habit. What would you do with your ego? And what were the nutrition things we learned about? Kind of, but I was jumping like too crazy amongst them. I couldn't even pick one to focus on. So
mm,
I was thinking about that earlier today. I'm like, how can I kind of get back to where I was just before things went crazy on me or off the rails? Well, I went off the rails, not things, but so I gave it some thought. I'm still not sure I have a real plan there, but I at least have the food set up to be correct starting really tomorrow, to be easy and done and what it should be. Um, I keep thinking I should get up in the morning and go to the gym. So I'm going to try really hard to do that. I can't guarantee it's going to happen, but it's my plan. And yeah, so I thought this today, reading what you said about kind of a regroup and getting back to what we had done was perfect timing for me. So thank you. That worked out wonderfully because it is a lot of
yay.
information that we've gotten. And I'm trying, like I said, I try to incorporate it all, but then I get that tunnel vision on one thing and it's not the right thing. So then I'm switching and jumping all over.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm,
really, it has been me that has done a horrible job for the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to turn that around.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, you're right. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and accountable and talking about what happened and how you responded to it. And all of that is okay. I think the most important thing is because this is going to happen. Life is not perfect. There's going to be the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs. So having this experience, I'm actually for lack of a better way to say it, I'm really glad that you're getting this because you're getting a really valuable lesson and tools that are going to come from it. It's like, okay, this is life. This is going to happen. How do I get back to where I was? So now you get to work through that. So then you will have that skill for the rest of your life. And that is invaluable, being able to find and pick yourself back up from where you were and not starting over. We're never starting over. So if that helps you feel better, you're just starting where you left off. And that's a beautiful thing because it's not at the starting line. It's already this far along. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad that you got that opportunity to work through that. And honestly, I hope it happens to all of us because that's how we stay and create success in our life because it's going to happen again. So I think the really great things you did is you were intentional. You're like, okay, that's what happened. And now I'm going to take a day off and I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm going to plan and set myself up to be more successful. So that was really, really a perfect thing to do. Um, Now, in terms of feeling overwhelmed with all of the other things and places to start, I can understand that. But go back to the fundamentals. So, just making decent food choices. They don't have to be perfect. And like what you already said, I plan to go to the gym tomorrow. Perfect. So, if I were to give advice for tonight, you kind of were like, I don't know if it'll happen or not. Well, how do we make it happen? What will make you successful tomorrow when you wake up? Is it going to bed earlier? Is it putting clothes out right by your bed so that when you wake up, you put your gym clothes on and you go? Is it setting your coffee maker up tonight so you just push a button? Is it having your food and water and all of that already out on the counter? Like, what kind of cue is going to create the behavior to get you to go to the gym so you get that reward of feeling accomplished and happy and all that?
Those are all great ideas. And I think if I get the clothes out and I set the alarm so if I get up and they're right there in front of me and I see them immediately. So my head is, focused. If it's not, then just will kind of spark that drive. And I truly do need to keep thinking too that when I was doing all the things we had discussed and had reviewed, I was feeling better. So it's worth it. I was trying to by taking today, I was trying to make me the priority. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind maybe too for tomorrow. Like I need to be the priority and so if I have those things out, I think that will be helpful and help me to be accountable to going.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. I love that. And I also really love that you're shifting into this place of like, you know what? I matter too. Because I know, and you in particular, and the women in this group, often we're helping and doing for everyone else. And I know that energy, and it's very strong with you. So I'm like so proud of you for even saying that out loud. Like, I'm a priority. I matter. I need to do this for me. And the other really cool thing that you said is like, when I'm doing the things I know I need to do for health and wellness, I feel good. I feel better. That's your reward. You've created a reward already inside of yourself from habits that you started creating. So once you were in that flow and in that rhythm, you were feeling the reward. And so that's really cool. So there's this internal motivation that can come from that as long as you continue to feel what that feels like. You have to remember that feeling. And if I could bottle it up for you and just give it to you as a little elixir, be like, remember how that feels. That would be really, really cool. But you have to keep that deep inside of you. And sometimes it's just removing everything around you so that sense can come back to you. And if all of you remember this little thing I mentioned once is you might not. It was in one of our talks. The brain does not know the difference between a strong visualization and reality. So if you can sit there, and this is kind of what meditation is or manifestation is, if you can sit there and really envision yourself doing what you want to do, you're going to believe it and you're going to do it. So for instance, what you could do tonight is all right, I'm going to envision myself waking up tomorrow feeling motivated. I'm going to put my clothes on. I'm going to go grab my coffee, water, and snack. I'm going to head to the gym. When I get to the gym, I'm going to be standing tall and energized and confident. I'm going to go and do all the exercises on my app, and I'm going to leave feeling great. And if you can walk yourself through that visualization, and this goes for all of you all, if there's something you want to get done, your brain and body will not know the difference between that visualization and the reality. So you can create this motivation inside yourself and this feeling inside yourself of actually doing it and accomplishing it. And that's actually what manifestation is. It's not like this woo-woo thing. There's a neurological, like nervous system component that you can practice and it helps a lot. So if I had any more advice tonight, setting yourself up for success with those little things, and then tonight practicing finding a way to visualize what you want tomorrow and then doing it. And then lastly, my favorite thing to tell people only because it helped me so much when I was working towards a huge new goal for me is as soon as I woke up, I said, what would that person do? So again, that alter ego effect, like putting yourself in the shoes of the person you're being in that moment. So for me, it was, what would a professional bikini bodybuilder do right now? And I'd say, she'd get her butt up and go to the gym. And then I felt like, okay, I'm ready to go. Because if I was like, Kayla doesn't get up at, 5 a.m. and do that, but a pro bodybuilder does, and I made myself her, it just felt so different.
That's so interesting. All right. Well, thank you. I'll try all of those tricks and I will be motivated to get up tomorrow and get out there and do it.
And then I want you to text me and say, Kayla, it went so well. And I'm so proud of myself and I'm feeling so good. We can celebrate together. Not that you need me celebrating you because your celebration is enough, but I will be happy. You can borrow some of my enthusiasm and positivity. I'm happy to lend it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Tina, you unmuted. Do you want to say something?
Oh, no. I was just
Oh,
thinking, I think you need to send us those little tips and tricks every morning.
oh my gosh.
I
Okay. I can
love
like,
them. I love
yeah.
them.
Okay, I could try to do like a motivational video in the app once a week. You all need to so I need a reward system too. You all need to be like, "Yeah, Kayla, thank you. That was awesome." And I'll be like, "Okay."
Yeah, absolutely. I would. I love that. And I have to say, I have not been sewing lately, and I keep looking at all my stuff and I keep buying more stuff. My husband's about ready to shoot me, and I'm thinking those things could work for me to get my butt moving with back sewing again.
Oh, 100%. These are transferable to anything you need in your
Right,
life.
right. That's what I was
Anything.
thinking. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I like this.
Yes, Tina, thank you for bringing that point up that it doesn't have to just be about fitness and eating right. Like, yes, any habit you want, these are the foundations. Mm-hmm. That was cool. Hmm. Okay. Does anyone have anything else they want to share or ask about? Anyone else feeling a little overwhelmed, feeling on track, feeling like something really stood out?
I have another recipe I'm going to share with you guys. I haven't
Love
tried it,
that.
have not tried it yet. However, my best friend has, and her daughter did, and said it was really good. So don't shoot me when you see what it is. It's
That's
pudding
awesome.
made with boiled eggs.
What is it?
It's chocolate pudding made with boiled eggs. I got to
What?
try it. I have got to try it.
I will look forward to hearing the results.
It's protein.
That's incredible. I'm open to it. I'm so open to it.
I'm like,
It's right. You said boiled, it's pudding?
yes.
You use the yolk?
Like a mousse, is what it's like.
Mm,
She said it's really good.
okay.
She even tried to do it like changing it up with cottage cheese, but she
Uh-huh.
said it was like it was too salty because of the cottage cheese. She said it was so different with that boiled eggs.
Huh.
It was very
Okay.
creamy.
Fantastic. I love that. Let's see it. Yeah, put it in the group if you think of it.
Yeah, I will.
Yay. Also, open to all of you. If you find a cool recipe or something interesting about food, put it in the group. You're gonna help someone. You help
Yep.
me. I learn all the time. Um, yeah, cool. Okay. Um, I just want to do a super quick recap, and this might provoke some questions. So we're going to kind of go through what we've learned in 8 weeks. I think it was eight. It's been 8 weeks. So January was all about mindset, identity, and habits. And we had Scott St. John come on and talk about keeping it simple, completely believing in yourself more than anything else. We had Kara come on. She talked about how she became a world champion bodybuilder and she taught us how to celebrate ourselves. Um, then we learned about the alter ego, which I already brought up tonight, and how, finding someone or something, or mostly just someone that you want to embody, is really, really, really powerful. Because when you take ownership away from you and put it on someone else, which is technically you, it's so much easier. You're like, oh, yeah, that's what that person does. That's what I'm going to do because that's what that person does. rather than like putting the pressure on you. It's such an interesting, subtle like mindset game. But I really hope you all have kind of continued to figure out who you want to be and giving it a bigger persona, like envision it, give it a name, her a name, whatever you want to be. It's super powerful. And then we talked about the fundamental components of what a habit is and how it can transfer over to different parts of our life. So you have a cue, something that triggers you to do something, because habits are not conscious. They're designed to be automatic so that we don't have to think all the time. They can be good, bad, neutral. But you have a cue, then you have a behavior that comes along with that cue, and then a reward. The cue and the reward are the important part. The behavior is what you can change. So identifying the reward is the most important part. Why am I doing this? What do I actually need? Why am I going for the ice cream? It's because you're seeking comfort, avoidance, something that just feels good to you. So there's other things that can create that reward for you. You just have to figure out in the behavior part, what is that? Um, so that's just a simple example. Um, let's see, what else have we talked about? Oh, yeah, the importance of how we talk to ourselves. So going back kind of to identity and alter ego, instead of saying something negative about yourself, like, oh, I'm not someone who does that, or I'm not like that, or whatever, you put a little positive spin. You say, I am someone who prioritizes my health. I am someone who keeps the promise to myself. I'm someone who eats really healthy. I am disciplined. I am consistent. So you can reframe and start convincing yourself that you are a certain way. And once you start saying those out loud and shifting that narrative in your brain, it becomes reality for you. You just got to keep repeating it over and over and over. Now, don't pick a million things because that's where it gets overwhelming, kind of like what Anne's saying. She's like, there's so many things for me to focus on. It's overwhelming. Of course it is. So, pick one thing and repeat it every single day. I am someone who prioritizes my health, or I am someone who goes to all my kids' games. It can be something, it can be anything. I am someone who sews every single afternoon. It's subtle, but very powerful. And then going back to talking about creating an alter ego, sorry, I'm bouncing around a tiny bit. You can get really specific about the person. So let's use my bodybuilder persona I wanted. So you can start asking questions to really define who she is. It could be something like, okay, how does the bodybuilder eat? All right, I'm going to do that. How does she respond when she's stressed? Okay. When does she go to sleep? How many hours does she get? So it's just like I said, creating this person to copy, but it's you. It's actually you. It's kind of cool. And also, don't wait to become this person. Act like that person right now. But you have to define who that person is very specifically. The confidence that that person embodies is built through the action that you're taking right now, not before it. So start taking action, even if it's hard, uncomfortable, weird, strange, you don't know what to do. Literally, one little step forward is still a step forward. All right. Okay, we talked about that. Beautiful. Okay, since we talked a little bit before I move forward a little bit in what we've gone over, I want you all to share with me one small win from today, and we're going to celebrate each other. Oh man, it shouldn't be this hard to think of one little win.
I'll go. I'll go.
Okay.
I showed up tonight. That's my win.
Hell yeah. I
Because
agree.
it was a long, crazy day. Despite the weather, being a nurse, it doesn't ever stop. And yeah, long story short, it was a crazy day. And I was early. I beat you to the class. So,
Winning. Yes, Shyla, thank you. I will definitely celebrate that one.
I have some baked goods at on the counter and I didn't have any.
Heck yeah. We avoided the baked goods. That
Yep.
is a win. I did not today. That's okay. I'm really proud of you. Beautiful.
I'll go next. So I knew I was not going to be able to get out today with the snowstorm, and so I brought my weights home yesterday so that I could get my strength training session in today.
That is a beautiful win. Planning ahead, prioritizing, and staying consistent no matter what. No barriers. Yes.
Right.
That was a good one. And you got a win for us? I know we kind of already did, but you got another one?
I was just thinking about, boy, I think I said them all, but let's think here. I'm thinking. Has to be something, right? I'm going to go do an at-home workout tonight. That's gonna be my win.
Oh, girl.
That will
Wow.
make me have to do it tonight too, which will be good. So that'll be good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love that. Again, so not letting anything be a barrier. No, like that's awesome. I want to make sure though that it's not coming from a place of punishment. It's coming from a place of desire. Like this is something you really want to do tonight, and it's gonna feel really good after. And it's not something that's gonna stress you. Just something that moves your body, makes you feel good, and that kind of mindset around it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have a plan then. All right. Yes. I have something
Yay.
in mind that will work, and it'll just be a motivator to let me know I'll start to feel better when I do it. So I'm ready to go tomorrow morning.
Cool. Perfect. I love that because it's already 7:43, not discouraging you from moving your body, but I want you to just do it from a place of um not from a place of punishment is what I'm saying.
All right. Yes, I can do that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's important. Okay, beautiful. Thank you all for sharing those. I'm celebrating all of you. And my big celebration is just you're here. I'm so glad you all are here. I will celebrate that every day. We're looking for progress, not perfection. We're looking for sustainable habits, starting small, stacking them on top of each other, reducing friction for healthy choices as you do that, focusing on consistency, not intensity. So, kind of what I'm saying to Ann tonight, you don't have to do an intense workout, but staying consistent and being like, okay, I got one done today. Like, that's consistent. I move my body every day. I am someone who moves my body every day. Okay, beautiful. So February, we've been talking a lot about nutrition and hormones and what's in our food and how it's sneaky and like protein and carbs and fats. And we've had some really, really, really good speakers this month, in my opinion. And if you haven't watched them all or caught up on all of them, maybe if you're doing a little cardio at the gym or on a drive, like put one on and listen because these guest speakers have been incredible. Um, Okay, so protein we talked about is our foundation. It's super important for muscle preservation, metabolism support, blood sugar stability, hormone production, and it helps reduce your cravings. It helps you with the muscle you're trying to build to be strong. And yeah, protein is just so important. But where we get it is also important. We don't want to like fall into the trap of the new like nutrition health craze that we're seeing in the grocery stores is everything has protein on it. Protein seltzer water. Like, no, no, we're not doing that. Like, come on. Like, what the hell kind of protein is it? It's not. I'm kidding, but what kind of protein would we be putting in seltzer water and why would we be doing that? So, aiming for whole food sources of protein if we can. And not I think it was someone was overeating protein. So there is a limit. Um, but yeah, just prioritizing it. That's the important part. And then we talked about fats and how it can be sneaky in some of our foods and the seed oils and all the yucky hydrogenated oils that are in our foods, creating inflammation. And this is actually really, really, really important. But there are plenty of healthy fats that do the opposite, reduce inflammation in our body. So we're prioritizing healthy fats and getting enough healthy fats because there was a whole thing about non-fat everything. Like that was another problem we've been facing. So another highlight for you all is this isn't your fault. It's been hard, but it's not your fault. Like nothing has set you up for success. Some intention. I'm not going to go conspiracy theorist on y'all, but it's freaking hard and it's not fair. But anyways, we're taking back our control here. So we're looking for foods that are rich in omega-3s, healthy fish, avocados, almonds, some seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, fantastic sources of healthy fats. The benefits of the healthy fats are reducing inflammation, brain health. This mushy thing in your skull is made out of a ton of fat. So you really need that. Hormones. Michelle, I think, was the first one to talk about cholesterol being um, it's what all hormones are derived from. Like you have cholesterol here, and then you remember those charts that like broke off into all of the hormones, but cholesterol is the starter. And she told us like cholesterol is not bad for you as long as you're not inflamed. So if you have all these good foods and you're working on your stress and you're sleeping enough and drinking enough water and you have a body that's not super inflamed, you can handle plenty of cholesterol and use it to make all your hormones. So reducing inflammation, super important. Healthy fats are also helpful for our cellular health. So, at a very microscopic level, these fats are doing some beautiful things for us. We also talked about antioxidants and reducing the free radicals, which are just crazy little oxygen molecules creating havoc in our body, bumping into cells and breaking down the membranes. Not good. So, we want to reduce that. And one way we can do that is eating foods that have natural antioxidant properties, eating the rainbow. If there's one thing they wanted you all to remember is just eat the colors, as colorful as you can. And what else, what the other thing that does is creates diversity in your gut and your body isn't getting stuck in one way. It can handle and have, I think Kathleen used this term, metabolic flexibility. So the more diversity you eat, the happier and healthier your body will be. So if you have to shoot for, a goal, just be very colorful with your food choices. So colorful vegetables, berries, leafy greens, herbs, spices, and whole foods. Shop the perimeter of that grocery store. There's not much need to go into the aisles, to be honest, just for some spices, some healthy oils to cook with. What else would you find in those aisles? Coffee. But yeah, shop the perimeter. You'll be more successful. When you have lower inflammation in your body, you will have more energy, your joints will be happier, you'll have clearer thinking, and you'll have better hormone balance. We talked about how there's a lot of unhealthy and sneaky fats in a lot of our foods. That was last week's focus. We were playing detective in some of our foods in our pantry, looking for this whole list of oils and yucky fats that I put in the group. You can refer back to that, but some of them were high processed seed oils. A really sneaky one lately has been sunflower and saffron. I don't even remember how to say it, saffron oil or something like that. Those seed oils have been really sneaky in foods lately. Hydrogenated. If you see any of the word like hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated, just stay away from it. Not good at all. Typically deep fried foods, not good. Ultra processed snacks, like if there's a million ingredients on the package, nix it. Um, we had Dr. Biggie come on and she talked a lot about hormones and nutrition, how food impacts our insulin sensitivity, our cortisol levels, estrogen balance, how we all need estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Those are super important for us, even as we phase out of it in menopause. And there's some options now that are being researched and given to women, which is incredible. If you're not someone who has explored that and you are someone who's perimenopause, menopause, postmenopausal, not, I mean, it's totally worth talking to your doctor about it. And if they seem like they aren't certain and haven't kept up with the research, find another doctor. Maybe even reach out to Dr. Biggie and see if she has some resources. When we have supported hormones, such as like the insulin, we'll have stabilized blood sugar. And often when we are eating protein and fiber together, that helps stabilize the insulin and blood sugar. Kathleen talked about this, and so did actually all of our nutrition speakers, is they used to say, make sure you keep your blood sugar stabilized by eating all day. Now it's like, no, we're trying to avoid that constant grazing because you're just doing this little sugar spike, insulin comes in, starts to regulate, sugar spike, insulin comes in. So you're just like wearing out your pancreas, you're wearing out your cells, you're creating insulin resistance because it's constantly flooding in. So now they're saying you want to take breaks between your meals so you get digestion to finish its cycle before you start again, if that makes sense, which is so interesting because I was taught like, yeah, eat frequently. It's good for your metabolism, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, maybe not. And it makes sense to me. If you just have constant blood sugar spikes, that makes sense. We've been working on minimizing our processed sugars and our white sugars and added sugars. And that leads us into carbohydrates. We've been trying to choose our carbohydrates more wisely. So picking vegetables and fruits and legumes, whole food starches such as like potatoes, quinoa, oats. Those are all really great carbohydrate sources. And choosing a complex carbohydrate source, which is one that breaks down slower, is typically better. Um, we're not trying to eliminate carbs. We are just trying to regulate a little bit more and have a little more control over them. The other thing that we talked a little bit about is carbohydrates and their timing. You know, we do best with carbohydrates a little bit before we work out and a little bit after. And then the rest of the day, you don't really need them. You know, putting your carbohydrates around your workout is typically the best way to eat carbs and are used the best. Um, Okay. I have some comments. Thank you all for chiming in. Um, oh, Barb, you're welcome. This group is helpful for you. I'm so glad to be able to do this for you all. And yes, I'm also glad you all are here. Ugh, protein Pop-Tarts. Okay. Yep. Ooh, Tina's making her own sourdough bread. Oof, that sounds amazing. I love homemade sourdough. And then Barb's gonna see Dr. Biggie. Yay! I love her. We've been friends for a little bit and she's just incredible. And she has this strong passion for actually helping. She hates the system. She tries to work around them. She does work for a hospital. However, she really cares, like deeply cares for people. That's why she came on and spoke to you all. I could see her on a big platform if she could handle social media. She'd be one of those people. But we all hate the social media part. Anywho, fasting. So we just had Kathleen on and she talked about fasting, which has such a controversial thing right now. But the way that Kathleen talked about it made it seem doable and helpful in a non-restrictive way. So she gave the advice for fasting in terms of like an intermittent way. So our digestive system does need a break. And the best way to implement some fasting into your life is doing a 12-hour window every day. So what that means, and is so easy to do, is stop eating at a certain time, go to bed, and then don't eat your breakfast until that same time in the morning. So if you stop eating at 6 p.m., you don't eat again until 6 a.m. So kind of figuring out how you could put that into your day is actually so, so helpful. And the other part is like you're not getting this huge sugar bump before you go to bed. You're not digesting. You can literally just rest. Um, that's one of my habits I've been working on this year. I do it probably 80% of the time, and I find it helpful and it gives me a target. Like, okay, 6 o'clock is coming. I'm gonna make sure I got my dinner done by then. Because if I get up and go to the gym early, like I like to have a little bit of food before I go to the gym. So I'll stop eating by 6, and then by 6 a.m. I'll have my snack again. So that's a really nice way to incorporate some intermittent fasting. Um, Tina says I do the fasting every day. I calculate every day and try to eat the same time every night. Woo, that's awesome. And I'm sure your body's feeling good from that. It's helping you sleep, keeping inflammation down, reducing cravings. Because you think about it, you don't need fuel to go to sleep. You got enough. You'll be okay. Um, And the other thing she talked about was for women eating in a cyclical way. So menstruating women can follow the follicular phase, the ovulation, and the luteal phase. So in the follicular phase, which is menstruation, and then right after, you don't need as many carbs. You can eat a higher healthy fat and protein diet. And then once you hit ovulation, your body naturally starts to crave more carbs. And that's such an interesting thing. If you have intuitive bodies and you listen, it's like, oh, I have cravings. Yeah, of course. Your body wants more carbs right now. So then honor that. And as you go luteal phase into, or ovulation into luteal phase, this is when you eat more complex carbohydrates to feel more fueled. And your body's going to like that more because it's more hormonal and it needs more um, quick fuel to get through all that. And then, she said for people who are not menstruating, following the cycles of the moon was really helpful. So a full moon, I believe, is when menstruation would be. So following the full moon to the next full moon would be how you plan your eating if you're interested in it. So going low carbohydrate, high fat until you hit mid-moon cycle and then start shifting into complex carbs until you hit the next full moon and then repeat it. That would be really cool if someone tried that who's not menstruating. Let's see what else. Um, yeah, Kathleen talked a lot about, how humans in the past historically would eat, the feast and the fasting, because that's how food was. We didn't have food ready available to us 24/7. You only had it at certain times. So that created the metabolic flexibility she was talking about, where your body starts to go into ketosis and uses ketones and creates, I don't know if any of you have done fasting, but it's very popular in spirituality and religion. So people will do short fasts to find clarity and just clear out their body. So that's what they did way, way, way back in the day, fast, and then all of a sudden, okay, we got the hunt came in, we've got some new vegetation here. Let's feast. And that's the important part she emphasizes. You do still need the amount of calories your body needs. So then you feast on it and eat a ton. Not for everyone, probably not the best like guidance at this very moment, but you can kind of replicate it by doing days where, okay, I'm only going to eat 500 calories today, but the next day, so if I'm on a 2,000 calorie diet, the next day I would eat 2,500 to make up for the lack of, no, it'd be 3,500, excuse me, so that you're feasting. So something to consider, something to look into. But I think giving your body some digestive breaks is really helpful. So that nighttime intermittent fasting is great. So yeah, I mean, the goal of this program was to teach you some lifelong habits that you can take forever and using the principles of habits that you can use transferably to anything you're working on in your life. It's not to overwhelm you, it's not to create perfection, it's just to teach you how to simplify some things and give you some of the more important parts of, what health and wellness is, because there's a ton out there. So we're trying to condense and lead you towards the most important things to feel good in your life. But I want to remove the pressure of perfection from you all. It's not a thing, and it's not going to happen um, unless you're competing on the stage to be a bodybuilder, which is not the most healthy thing to do. I will admit it. Um, it looks great, but honestly, those are not healthy bodies. Those are not super well people, often very insecure, unhappy. Um, I'm generalizing, it's not everyone, but glamorizing those people, it's not helpful for us. And unfortunately, we're bombarded daily with visions of what we should look like. And it's hard. It's really, really hard to tease out. So I want to just really, really emphasize the importance of not being perfect and being on your own path in your own journey and following your own rhythm in your own body and what feels good and what makes you feel good. You're in the pursuit of good, like daily. Like if you have any intention daily beyond this, it's just like finding the good. And if you can do that daily, you're gonna just feel so much better. And I think it was Shyla that mentioned, intentional choices as they pop up. You're going to have things that come up and you're going to be like, oh, cookie or carrots. That's literally a choice you get to make. And having a why will probably direct you in a certain way. And having no judgment towards you either way. Like, okay, today's a cookie day. Like, I deserve a cookie. And I know that, kind of like what we're talking about with Anne, I know that I can get back to my other healthy ways because this isn't defining me. This is not derailing me. This is one moment in time where I'm going to enjoy this cookie. But I know that I can get back on track because I have all these tools, I have all these experiences where I had to do that. So that was a lot, but that was a recap for our first half of this program. And more to come. We're gonna wrap. No, March is right around the corner. Are you kidding me? What the heck? That just blew my mind. Wow, February. It's like January is a long month, and February is like poof, gone. So, anyways, March is gonna be centered more around like movement and the lymphatic system, which is super cool. Fascia, lymphatic, and movement. That'll be really neat to learn about. We don't have a guest speaker this week. Couldn't find one. And it's a great intermission time. So, but we've got March is pretty full. We've got Dr. Gruber, not this week, next week. But anyways, I'm super proud of you all. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me and, showing up for yourself and feeling this is important enough to do so. And again, be loud in the group, support each other, share what you learn. The more that you do that, the more everyone else is going to improve, and the more everyone else improves, we all improve. It's just like healthier community creates healthier for all of us. It's trickle down effect. Okay. Ooh, yay, Tina's excited to hear about the lymphatic system. Me too. Thanks, Barb. Yeah, I thought the recap was really important. Anything else, my wonderful friends?
There's so much out there about the lymphatic system now, and things you can do, and I'm really excited to hear about it. What we should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, you're right. It is a hot topic right now. So
Very
is
hot.
fascia. It's been an understudied area of our body, go figure. And they're finally like putting more emphasis on learning about it. And it's
Mhm.
really exciting information. So yeah, I'm glad you're excited. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, anyone else? Any final comments, remarks? Okay, well, you all know how to get a hold of me. Um, and if anything pops up, just let me know. All right, you're welcome. I'll see you all soon and stay tuned and post it in the group. I hope you all have a beautiful night, get some rest or move your body if that's what you're doing, and be very intentional. Set an intention tonight about how you want tomorrow to go. Envision it and be badasses because I know you all are. Limitless potential deep down within all of you. Okay, love you all. Bye.